And we're back. Listen, welcome to this podcast, man. This is me, Jamal, and I'm giving you nothing but raw facts about what I feel like a comic or an artist entering into their fame, entering into their space, entering into their art form. And this is me, like, from my personal journey, my art form also being comedy, and how to just attack and get in there when you're starting from year one. I not too long ago was in year one. I've only been doing comedy for 2 years, so a lot of my knowledge is just based off of my own experiences. It's not fact. It's just my experiences. It's not always like my way is not always the way to go. It's just the journey that I took, and I want to give guidance to a lot of people that may be entering into a space, and you just may not know what it is that you're entering into, right? So I'm here to guide you on things in my scene. Like I said, I'm in the scene from the 7-5. And this isn't dissing anybody. This is just expressing not everybody in the scene is for your growth. Not everybody in the scene is for your and I just go into depth about things and traps that I managed to avoid, some that I fell into, things that I've learned from the comedy scene in 757. And it's not these stories, this info that I have may not pertain to everybody's situation, but it is an option. It is these things do happen out there, and I just want, like, if these are some of the things that you come across, I want to give you some guidance on how to avoid those things. And that's what I'm here for, and that's honestly what I'm doing this series for. Is just to help comics get to where they're supposed to be without a shame, without anything, without guilt, without anything. Because in 2 years, the level of success that I've been able to achieve, like you, with knowing the knowledge that I've gained, can probably be more successful. And that's a lot of the times on why I do anything. I want everybody to succeed in their lane. And I want everybody who actually listens to this to make sure that they're more successful by year two than I was. Because this is only the beginning for me. And there's a lot more that I have to go. But if you can avoid these traps, if you can listen to some of the knowledge, even a little bit may help you in your journey, man. So I'm just here being honest, giving you my back history, my events that have happened in the space of my lanes of learning comedy. And I just want to share it with people in hopes that they can take something from it and learn a little bit more and be better than me, move faster than me, grow. Like, even if you surpass me, I'm happy for you that I was able to help. And even in the comics that are coming up after me, the comics that are in my community now, I'm just doing that, lending a hand to get to where, hey, I'm only here to help you catapult to where you need to be. I've done that from day one, and I continue to do that because that's just who I am. That's what I offer to comedy as a whole. Like, I always ask people in your journeys, what have you done for comedy? What have you done for whatever art form you're choosing to do? What have you done for that art form? What have you done to advance it? And if your answer is, well, I got a check for it, then that's all you'll get from comedy. I've asked comedy for growth. I've asked comedy to become better. And how do I do that? By making everyone around me better. Because just like plants, like, if the tree is blocking my sunlight for 12 hours out of the day, how much do you expect me to grow? But if we're all together and we all have the same, hey, look, I'm gonna shade you on this one, you gonna shade me on this one, block me from the sunlight so I don't get burnt. I have enough chloroform to make sure that I'm able, you know what I'm saying? Like, your leaves cool me down when I'm too hot. Your leaves cool me down when I'm too hot. When the sun is positioned this way, I'm gonna block, you know what I'm saying, bad rays from you. It's you need a community to help you grow. And I want that to be the first thing that people take. You do need a community, but it's the type of community that you build for you. Let's first and foremost, man, as an artist, enjoy your art first. That's the main thing that a lot of people skip right out the gate. Is like, oh man, I'm better than this person. I'm funnier than him. It's gonna happen. You coming into comedy and you thinking that, you know what I'm saying? Like you think that you hot stuff. That's what I did. That's the bad approach. That's the wrong approach. In my personal opinion, that has held me back more than anything. Because one, I'm already in competitive mode when there's no competing with that. The only thing that you're competing with as a comic is silence. And better believe it, if I'm thinking about, oh man, I got to be funnier than the person that just went on stage instead of really polishing and focusing on your material, you're going to lose every time because you're worried about what said person did on stage before you. That one is one of the worst things that you can do. You sit here and you try to battle somebody who may be a little more seasoned and know the crowd better than you. You're learning the crowd. This person already has been through and he knows, okay, I got my set of jokes for this type of crowd. I've seen them. You're not like mostly you're worried about the person before you instead of worrying about the lessons you need to learn to be better than that person before you. If that's your main concern, be okay with getting the lessons. Be okay. Like your best friend has to become a bomb. Like you've got to bomb so much and you've got to feel it so that when it comes time to how you curate your jokes, how you tell your jokes, how you deliver your jokes, how you address the crowd, how you all of these things, if you don't do them right, you're going to bomb. So you have to take all those lessons from each and every bomb. And I did this for probably 2 years. Like I probably just got decent enough to be honest with you. And I'm only decent after 2 years. After going to as many mics as I have, I'm probably just decent. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you okay? You pretty funny. That's it. And that's okay. I'm not trying to be Eddie Murphy in year one. It's never going to happen. And if you're trying to be that, then you're going to miss all the things that you need to learn when you can tell a good joke. If you telling a good joke and you don't deliver it right in that room, it don't matter how good the joke was. You didn't read the room. That's a part of the process. Learn how to read the room. You've got to learn how to read the room. You can't go in a room full of white people and tell something that really a majority of black people can relate to. You can't go in a black room and tell a joke that really only white people can relate to. You have to know how to make that joke that you've told to white people and they laughed at. Now you have to take that and figure out how to make that same joke funny to black people. Then you like this is if you pay attention, you can learn these things, man. This is one of Jamie Foxx's lessons, man. You've got to learn how to blend both rooms and make it funny. Like once you've learned how to do both, like I said, Jamie Foxx has a whole lesson on this. Once you learn how to do both, you blend the joke so that it can be funny amongst both audiences. You've got to learn how to do that. That's a part of the learning process because you can take one joke in one room one day and it'll be the funniest joke of the night. And you go in another room and not know how to deliver it and how these people want to receive their comedy and you fall flat. You've got to learn that lesson. That's part of making you a great comic. Like those bombs, like don't be afraid to bomb. If you're afraid to bomb, then that's going to be the thing that stops your growth. Sometimes you need it. Now, I'm not saying if you're good enough to never bomb and you've learned how to, by all means, there are talented comics out there that have out the gate come and do it. But don't think that everybody is that talented to do so. And if you aren't, it's okay. Learn from the bombs and eventually you're going to get it. Like I said, I bombed for over a year, probably a year and a half. I bombed. Look, last week I had a bomb week and it's okay. I'm okay with it. These are just lessons that you have to learn. Another rule that I think a lot of people don't pay attention to, and that is watch your community that you allow to be around you. What I mean by that, you're not watching them to be competitors or anything like that, but someone giving you advice on an idea that has been given to you by like whatever you believe, if you believe in God, comedy gods, whatever you believe in, the idea was given to you. And you start working on making that idea manifest into something. Watch what fellow artists, watch what you say to them. Watch what you give them in that space. Because just because they can't see it, they don't think it's obtainable. And the vision was given to you, so take it. I'll give you an example. I started a room. It was inherited from a fellow comedian. He was like, "Hey man, I want you to have this room. Go ahead, take it, do what you got to do." I bring in what I feel like. I'm like, "Hey, we can share this as a team. This is a really good room. Hey, I don't really know how to build it, but help me build it." Now, this is something that was given to me. If you believe in God or whatever source you believe in, God given, and I decided to bring people into what was given to me, right? And those people, when I had an idea to try and do something, those people shot it down every time. Nah, man, nah, that ain't gonna work, man. I'm telling you, you don't know what you're doing. Cool. I may not know what I'm doing, but I will learn. And I had to learn everything. I had to learn the people that I could keep around to help me build. I had to learn the effects of somebody making sure that you fail. Like how they like I've had a guy tell other comics, this is in my building stage, tell other comics, don't go to his room. He don't know what he doing and he's not good for comedy. Cool. Like that's your opinion. Keep it to yourself, I would say, as a comic that doesn't believe in. But he decided that he was going to tell other comics, yo, don't show up there, man. They ain't paying. They ain't doing nothing. Why would you go there? And people stopped coming. And it was a really rough time because I just started. I'm a new comic. I just started this room. In that space, I had given a lot of opportunities for people who wanted to showcase, their stuff, and they were extremely grateful. And there was one person that telling people that also got an opportunity from there, telling people not to come to my mic. Don't go to Jamal's mic. Like the effect that had on me as a young comic was something that was just terrible. Like it really affected me. It hurt because not only that, but I looked at it as, hey man, this guy is my friend. He's got my back and he's only has the best interest for me. That wasn't the case. And I saw that. And because I allowed someone in the fold that didn't belong there, I end up losing my vision for what I had for the place. So that's why I say you've got to watch who's around you. Now, eventually we got it rolling. We got the train going. We got what we needed, man. We got the support. We got people that were, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't really affect me. It helped me like learn people's character. So again, if you have an idea, take the idea no matter what. If you're 6 months into comedy and you decide to open up a mic, do it. There's no shame in it. Like it'll teach you a lot. It'll teach you the business of comedy. If you feel like it's on your heart and you've been doing it for 6 months and you may not be as funny as you want to be, trust me, you'll learn how to be funny when you got to bring up comics that are bombing and you got to get the room back. You got to get them back laughing again. You're going to figure it out. You're going to figure out like, yo, okay, cool. You're going to figure out what comics don't like. You're going to figure it out. Because that's what you do as a comic. You have to figure out. Like you have to, as a comic, most times you're probably going to be one of the smartest people in the room that you feel like you're going to feel like I'm the smartest person in here. So if you feel that way, you've got to act on it. Okay, I'm smart enough to get you guys to laugh at this. That's it. But yeah, that's a lesson. Another lesson that I had to learn. People are going to talk about you especially when it starts to become successful. People are going to talk about you, and they're going to find every negative thing they can say. Me, I was corny, and I still am. I use that corniness to be funny. That's one of the things that is like comics. You have to understand. You may be corny to somebody. Lean into it. It's okay. But because I allowed my feelings to get involved, somebody calling me corny, saying I'm not funny, derailed me from focusing on what was getting better, because while they're calling me corny and all of this stuff, I was actually getting better. I was getting better because I was hosting. I was getting better at my stage presence. I had no stage presence. I was scared. I was shooken up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would get on stage and I would say 30 times. Oh man, this is tough. Yeah, looking down at the ground, no confidence whatsoever, but I was slowly getting better because I knew that this thing that I was creating was bringing people back. I was like, "Oh, you back? Hey, thank you for coming back. Look, I ain't seen you in a long time. Hey, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming." That started building the confidence. Like, I could look up now and look at everybody, be like, "Yo, hey, what's up, man? How you doing tonight?" That's just the start of it, and that's how I got my stage confidence up. Was from my mic. I had to get up there. I was up there every week early, making things, but like, you know what I'm saying? You can't shortcut it when I had to do that. I'm giving people opportunities that they don't get anywhere else. I didn't have a budget for the first place. The first place was called Georgia, by the way. If y'all know me, you know. It was a great venue, great place, man. We had a lot of good times there. Despite all the drama, we had a lot of good times. And yeah, we didn't have a budget. We were not getting any pay. I was not getting paid. And yeah, no, man, look. I put a tip jar out for the comics when they came there to do their stuff, man. I was like, look, I can't pay you, but we can put a tip jar out, man. And if you knock their socks off, they tipping, which they were. We were walking out of there, man. When we had good nights, we were walking out of there with $120. And I was like, yo, we're gonna divide it amongst the comics, because where else are we gonna get money? We spend money 60, 70, $80. We're spending money to get out there. And I had to figure out a way to keep people wanting to come back, because it's like, yo, y'all gonna spend money, you're gonna buy drinks, you're gonna buy food, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. The people started buying us drinks. The people started giving us tips. Good nights. You know what I'm saying? Good night. And I loved it. I loved every ounce of it, man. I started to fall in love with comedy. I started to see how my community was supporting. And sometimes you'll need that from what you're doing. You'll need that. And it's okay. Take advantage of it, because that's a lesson. The problem is I was so caught in the back and forth with people saying how I'm not funny, how they were waiting on the downfall for my room, this, that, and the third. And I was just like, bro, like, why am I focused on this? Like, I could have done way better and a lot more with George's had I just stayed consistent and focused. So that's another lesson, is consistency and focus trumps everything. If you paying attention to what people may be saying, you're gonna hurt yourself. And you're gonna hurt yourself in a way that, like, it's impossible to come back from, because you're too focused on that. I had a really good group of people who made sure that hey, look, you harping on it too much. Hey, hey man, just get back to you. Just do your, like, you know what I'm saying? I had really good friends that did that. And that's another rule. Figure out who are the good friends that you can count on to be unbiased, deliver what you need to hear. If you haven't been getting better, you need somebody to tell you, hey man, look, you gotta go back and write more. You gotta write better jokes. Find somebody who you can trust in comedy to be like, and when it comes to your art and your craft, I know everybody wants to protect it and get sensitive over it, but sometimes you gotta allow a season to pass. Like, there are seasons in comedy. Fall, you gotta let them leaves go. So if somebody's telling you like, yo man, you need to work on like how to deliver this. If you like, yo, nah, don't tell me how to write my jokes, then that person, one, you don't trust them in their judgment of what they feel like is funny. And two, you're not open enough to allow yourself for somebody to critique you and help you get better. And that's going to hold you up, because it held me up. But luckily I had a person that was continuously like, bro, you just not funny, man. Just stop. And like, that was like, we had a battle. We combated a lot, like heavy on, yo, I'm not funny. Yo, I'm funnier than you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was every day. And it was like, bro, all right, man, look, you just need to like, yo, all right, man, look, you're not going to listen. We battled every day for an entire year. And honestly, like, that's the best comic friend to have. And if you can balance it with somebody who's going to be like, yeah, all right, man, look, you need to check on this, you need to check on this, you need to check on this. Those are two of the people that you really need in your corner. Luckily, I have one that's here, and one that's in the middle, man. Like, these guys have been making sure, like, yo, I'm not settling for no mediocre from you. Like, when it came time and I had done a year and they were like, yo, nah, that's it, man. We ain't hey, gloves are off. And I opened up, but had I opened sooner, I probably would have advanced faster. But you gotta have at least 1 to 2 people that you can trust in comedy, that you won't say, hey, what you saying is hate. You gotta find those people, because you've gotta have somebody to give you a heat check and be real. You gotta have somebody who can tell you, yo, hey man, that joke sucked. And you not getting your feelings about like what they're saying or how they delivered how your joke is. You can't. If you want somebody to give you pillow gloves when it comes time to critiquing you and helping you get better, you're going to take a longer time on getting there. You're going to take a longer time, and that's not going to benefit you at all. You've got to take your time. You've got to have the right people. You've got to be okay with the hard criticisms. That's how you get ahead. Don't take I'm not taking nothing. You're not giving me nothing light. The people, when I curate a new joke and I take it to my people, and they gonna be like, nah, that ain't funny. I don't like it. I don't get offended. I don't get mad. I don't be like, yo, you hating. I don't say nothing. I say, okay. And I go back to my writer's thing, and I either work on making that joke funnier or work on a new one. Those are the only 2 options, because I know that they know what's funny. And I know that they're telling me that it's not funny, not to tear down my style of joke, but to challenge me to write it better. And a lot of times I'll go back to the drawing board and I'll write it. And then that type of like structure, once you get one to make the person laugh, like I'll be straight up. My person, hey, Woody and Mark and Dante, like when I make them laugh, I know it's authentic, because each one of them have told me like, yo, hey, nah, what are you talking about? I'm lost. That sucks. Each one of them have told me straight up, without no pussyfooting at all. Just straight, hey, that sucks. And I had to go back and rewrite or advance the joke, or there's no arguing about what they find is funny. It sucks. Cool. All right, cool. I'll make it better then. And I'll keep writing. I get what you're doing, but it ain't hit me. Oh, it ain't hit you? Okay, cool. I'll punch this up, man. Sure you can. The whole thing, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you have to do. You need to surround yourself with some people that are going to be truthful, that are not hating, but when it comes to your art craft, they respect the art. They respect the art of comedy so much that they ain't letting no mediocre writing even pass their face. So they'll check me, and that's it. It's only 2 things I can do. I don't go arguing about it. I just go back and write. I'm like, man, I'm going to try it. Good luck. It's not going to work. I still try it. And it might work one place. It might work another place. But it still had to, like, if it works, it's probably because I took the time to write it better. And that's iron sharpening iron. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The open mics are the whetstones, and the iron sharpening iron, like, that's just like running it across the steel before you start cutting. So you need good people. Another rule, man, as a comic, be careful who you critique. Be careful who you critique, because this person may not be funny this day, but after some work and some time, that person may be funnier than you. So unless you have that bond and that friendship where you can be honest about like, yo, I don't really like that joke, and how you deliver it to them too is important. Making sure that they can receive that well, because when you tell somebody, like I had people talking about me, right? And what they were saying is, yo, I don't know how to run a room. I'm corny. I'm stupid. I don't know how to, like, oh, I went on stage and like lied about what my whole set was about, which it wasn't, but I was still in the learning phase. And I'm looking up to people who have been doing it longer than me when I should have been looking at the character of who that person is. So no matter what the time frame is that they've been doing comedy, check the character of who is giving you any guidance or instruction. Check their character, because I'll be damned if somebody comes to you and tells you that the thing that you're trying to do isn't obtainable when they can't even do half the things that you can outside of comedy. What I'm saying is like this, like, I'm good as far as my finances go outside of comedy. Comedy actually costs more money than you'll make for a very long time, and that's cool. But somebody who may be living at home with their mom, who doesn't have any structure as far as like living on their own, who like, you invite me to your house and you can't, if you don't take care of home, you can't tell me how to do anything with comedy, because this is how I learned how to be, how to grow. If you're a good businessman, then you can understand business enough to know that comedy is a business too. It costs me money to go to open mics. It costs me this, it costs me that. So I figured out a way to make all of these things that usually would cost me money beneficial. That's why I opened up my own mic. And I opened up, I think year one, I opened up, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 3 mics in year one. I opened two open mics and 1 place for a showcase. Year one, right? And I did that, and it was okay. It was decent. But I learned everything along the way. But I also had to pay. I also had to learn how to talk to business owners about like, hey, let me get this venue so that I can do comedy and we can make it whoop, whoop, whoop. You got to learn how to talk business and be professional. And if you're asking for somebody that I don't know, if I can have access to your restaurant and do comedy out of there. So, yeah, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't judge me if you, like, you can't tell me how to do this if, one, you're not doing it, and 2, you haven't done it at a successful level. Every one of the mics that I've touched have improved from the time I started to the time I ended it. For whatever reason I ended it on, it was still better. So, like, listening to people who don't even have their house in order, they definitely can't run the business to be better. And that's one of the things that I've learned. Like, yo, like, where you stay? You stay with your mama? Like, so how you, like, you don't even know how to run, how it feels to run your own apartment. So how you gonna tell me how I need to run a mic? And that's not an insult, and that's not shade. That's just real. Like, you don't even have your own personal finances well enough that you bought a. If you bought a property and you're renting that property out and living with your mother, those are 2 different situations and scenarios. That's not the same. But if your only home is with your mom and you haven't taken the time to invest in an apartment or building, or, you know what I'm saying, you haven't even used your first time home, like, all of that stuff matters when it comes to who I'm taking advice from. See what they have outside of comedy. Check them. Do a background check. And if, you know what I'm saying, if you're talking about, yo, I live with my mom, they can't help you. They cannot help you. They don't even know how to be responsible enough to help you. So walk away. Walk away from anybody who, if you've been to their house or you haven't gone to their house and you can see, you walk past their car or something like that and it's a mess. Like, bro, you don't know how to order put your stuff in order for your house. How can you guide me for anything? You don't know how to put your stuff in order for your car. Like, why does your car look like this? Why you invite me over to your house and you got to clean before I can, you know what I'm saying? Why are we doing this? You know what I'm saying? So how can you tell me how to run a mic? How can you tell me how to advance my comedy career? And this isn't shots, this isn't shade, this is real. Because business, like for instance, if you're married, right? And I don't anybody who is doing if you're married and you're cheating on your wife, not your girlfriend, but your wife, the person that you're supposed to be trusting the most with, I would never do business with you. And I've cheated. Like I'll be the first to admit I've cheated. You know what I'm saying? I was young when I cheated on my. You know what I'm saying? Like I was young, but I won't do it now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to do that now. So if you cheating, like bro, it don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't make sense. So just stop. You can't if you out here like you know what I'm saying. We out here vibing and you bring your you know what I'm saying. You bring your significant other and y'all just got done fighting because she done went through your phone. Like, bro, why you gonna get on stage like that? Why you gonna set the stage like that? She mad at you. She probably the only one in the crowd that is there for comedy. She ain't laughing because she mad as hell. She only there to watch you to make sure you ain't doing no dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, nah. If you a cheater, if you in the streets and you just in the streets having a good time, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But when you have a wife and you're trying to guide me, but you don't try to guide yourself to make sure that you take care of that first, nah. Ain't nothing you can do for me. I ain't trying to hear it. I already know what type of time you on because I was there before. And that's why I did it when I was young. I was, you know what I'm saying, 20, 25. Yeah. I get married again? No. Like I take pictures with my hands up. I'm not touching no women. I don't even like flirting. I don't want you to think you have an opportunity. If you come you come to a show and it's, you know what I'm saying, you want to become a fan of me, yeah, follow me. Look, yeah, nah. We're never, and that brings us to another rule. Do not, I repeat, unless that's the reputation that you want to go, do not fuck the fans. If that's the reputation that you want to go and you got into comedy just to get your dick wet, by all means, do what you're going to do. Do what you're going to do. But don't come around here ruining the reputation of all these people that are trying to work hard. So don't try to use comedy to get your dick wet or to get your pussy ate or any of that stuff. Don't do it because you're setting it a bad tone for the character of the comics who are trying to make this a business. Okay? Let me explain. I just had an event, 250 people there. A lot of women saw me as, oh, you running the show, you the boss. Ooh, I got to get close to you. Let me get your socials. I had 10 plus women slide in my DMs. Not one warranted a reply. Why, you ask? Because if I meet you and I'm on stage, I only want you to be a fan. No harm, no foul. I don't want you in any other realm. I want you to be a fan. I want you to come back to another comedy show. I want you to enjoy my sets enough that you're willing to buy tickets. I want you to come back. I want you to have fun. I want you to enjoy comedy from me. I want you to tell your friend that, hey, he's funny and I really like this show and we should go. I want you to go home and tell your man, hey, baby, look, I went to this comedy show. This dude, Jamal, took real good care of us. You should come next time. Jamal? Oh, he made you laugh? He funny? Even if he don't like the fact that, yo, he's stupid. Like, he don't like to hear that. He coming to the next show. So if you a fan of me, if you really like me, you would come to the next show that I have and bring somebody with you. If you want to impress me, that's how you do it. Because the only imprint that I'm going to have from you is, hey, thanks for coming. Hey, I want you to come back to another show. That's all I want. Hey, I'm going to bring my friends. Boy, you stupid. Boy, you crazy. Look, I'm going to bring my friends. That's all I want. I don't want anything in between your legs. I don't want your titties. I don't want none of that. I'm good. I just want you to come back to another show. Out of all the time I've been doing comedy, not one time have I laid with somebody who I created and became a fan. That's not what I'm here for. If you a fan of my comedy, you're a fan of my comedy, and I will keep you there, and I will make sure it's a safe space, and I'll make sure you have an opportunity to tell people that I saw Jamal grow from this to this. Boy, he funny. That's it. So as a new comic, I would not get into the habit of doing that, because the moment that you lose women because they feel like you a hoe, it's a tough battle. I just read Richard Pryor's book, and that's a lot of the reason why he had the downfall. He was fucking all the women. He was getting them, you know what I'm saying, getting them pregnant, knocking them up. First thing he lost was a woman fan base, and that's not. Women are the best fans. They give the best laughs. You have a trail of heartbroken woman. It's gonna be tough to get a female fan base. You know what I'm saying? I know that. Look at me in the situation that I'm in. That's why I started to repair and fix. Like, I don't play that, man. That's not a good look. You lose the women fan base, man. I did one woman show, and the amount of women that show support to those women for that one woman show is ridiculous. If you can be that comic that women feel safe around and women feel comfortable going to see their comedy, you're gonna win. Because now, when you have that reputation of being, the women are like, nah, I don't like him. Look at Anthony Edwards. He don't take care of his kids. That's what the women are saying. They don't even watch the NBA. I'd be like, yo, y'all go watch the WNBA. A woman to go up and tell her son, hey, we ain't buying his shoes. He don't take care of his kids. 90% of the men that are being raised with women. So guess what? They got tendencies too. They want to protect, either they want to protect their mom or they want to be their mom. So you really got to watch it on the reputation that you build. My suggestion is don't mess with any fans. It's plenty of people like, hey, you can, if you want to start dating somebody, date the barmaid, date the waitress, and be good to them. Guarantee you'll have a lot better and safer career. So yeah, the fans, leave them alone. Don't be a groupie. None of that. That's my suggestion, and it works. When I had this show, like I said, it was 250 people. 200 of them was probably women or women in relationships that have come to other shows, seen me and was like, yo, you stupid. I love how you talk to us, because I'm talking to the man. Like, yo, hey, man, look, I'll play with somebody and be like, hey, man, tell your wife that her locks look really good today. And he start laughing. I'm like, hey, tell your wife, you know what I'm saying? Like, just that little engagement. He like, yo, you stupid, man. All right. That's all it takes. And I wouldn't have that if I would have tried to have sex with his wife while he wasn't there. Because he wasn't there the first time I met her. But because I was cool and I was funny and I was like, you need to invite your husband next time. Okay. Like, don't come out here with these girls. If these girls ain't got no husbands, you don't need to be here. You need to bring him. Bring the man. And he was like, hey, man, I appreciate you for saying that, man. She left me at home by myself. I'm glad I came out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, I think he was watching football with his boys or something like that. It was like college football week or something. I remember them because they were fans. And if I would have tried to take the flirting approach, I would have lost 2 fans on a room that I'm building in the casino. Not worth it. You got to know what's worth it to you. And that ain't worth it. You know? And, you got to be smart. You got to be smart, man. Don't fuck your fans. Don't. It's not worth it ever. Another one, right? You got to make sure that you pay attention to your growth in the craft. And don't disrespect the craft. Don't disrespect the craft. What I mean by that is enjoy every aspect of it, but whatever you do, It's late, y'all. Don't judge me. Whatever you do, don't disrespect the craft. Don't come out here and go to an open mic and not have anything ready to go. That's a disrespect to the craft. And the people who are coming there to actually work on material so they can finish their set, they see you get on stage and you're just, oh man, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know anything. Like, if you're trying to get into showbiz, if you're trying to get on anything that's big, you have to respect that craft. Every time you go on stage can't be a wasted moment, because when you're called up and you have to do this show and you're getting paid like $100, $200, $500 for a show to $1,000, like how you practice is how it's gonna come through. And you start, I know that I'm about to pay you $200 for you to get on stage and try to figure a joke out on stage. Nah, you never getting booked again. So practice. Like, every open mic that you go to is a showcase, because those bar shows are really like those open mic. It's really like that. Like, it's really like that. So you got to keep working that room that you have the toughest time in until you figure out how. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out, how do I deliver in this room? So don't be afraid, like, and respect the craft. So if you like, this is a really good one. So if you go on to a place and you have a rough time, don't ever blame the crowd. It's you every time. If you went to a hick town and you're black and you didn't figure out how to make these hick people laugh, that's you. You didn't try to even adjust your material to some people that come from a different region or a background or whatever. If you can't make your set funny for them, then you need to keep working rooms like that until you can. And that's what I do. When I fell in the room, and my last room that I failed in was in Tappahannock, Virginia, where Chris Brown is from, I'm going back there as often as I can. Like, I'm trying to see it every time. Y'all don't mind me. I'm just tired. But yeah, you work on that, and that's how you get better. You go there, you go right back to that town, the mic that you failed at, and you go in there and you all right, cool. Like, I remember this crowd. Like, y'all don't like, you know what I'm saying? You go right into whatever it is you're gonna go into, and you bring the energy up. You gonna figure it out what these people want. Or if you in a room where they don't like the high energy, you gonna tone it down. Like, all right, man, look, I'm wilding, man. My rhythm wearing off. Like, you gotta say just the right things to